Hello, thank you for joining in. Welcome to our Duke Center for Living. This is our standing stretch video with myself, Chris, and Noel joining me today. So for our stretch video or our stretch workout here, you'll maybe need a yoga mat. If you don't have one, that is a-okay as long as you have some space around you. And if you would like as an option, maybe a chair nearby if you need it for some support. But again, that's not mandatory. So starting today, I want you to stand with your feet together, arms relaxed at your sides, and let's turn those palms forward. Take some time here and sync up your breath. Nice, big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can close your eyes or keep them open. Nice soft gaze. And let's start by squeezing your shoulder blades together. And those hands should drift back just a little bit. Lengthening through the crown of the spine. Still breathing deep. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more cycle. Good. Now keep your palms forward. And let's start with a few head circles. Draw in a big circle with your nose. Doesn't matter the direction, we will change. Making sure to go through a little slower through any sort of stiff spots you may have. Keep drawing big circles with the nose or crown of the head, however you want to think about it. Let's pause where you're at and change direction. And let's bring it back to center. Relax those hands at your side. Now, with your right hand, I want you to make a fist. Bring it behind your hips, and with your other hand, grab onto your wrist and pull that down and across your hip. When you're ready, let's bring that left ear to left shoulder. Now your gaze should still stay looking forward. You're just bringing that ear to shoulder, and with that assistance, kind of pulling the opposite arm down, it should really feel a good stretch down the side of your neck and into your trap just a little bit. I'm going to hold it here, give me a few breaths. And now, keep your head tilted to the side, but tuck your chin to your collarbone. You should feel that stretch move a little bit more towards the back of the neck, as well as the side. One more breath here. And let's release and come back to center. Switching sides. Now your left hand, make a fist. Bring it behind your hips and grab it with your right hand. Pulling it down and across to the right. And with your right ear, let's bring it towards your right shoulder. Again, gaze still looks straight forward during this portion. Feeling that nice stretch down the side of the neck, left side of the neck. And when you're ready, keep your head tilted, but tuck that chin to your collarbone. Feeling that stretch migrate a little bit more towards the back here. One more deep breath here. And let's release and come back to center. Next, I want you to either interlace your fingertips or just reach forward, your choice, straight out in front by pulling your shoulder blades apart. And when you're ready, tuck your chin to your chest. I don't want you to round your back too much. I want you to focus more so on getting your shoulder blades really far apart. You can rock that head side to side if you'd like while your chin is tucked to your chest. And let's release, come back to center. Shake it out if you need to. Now, with our left arm, let's take it and cross the front of the body. Support the elbow and pull that arm in. When you're ready, you can give me some wrist rotations or figure eights. Make some circles, whatever feels good. You can, if you want, even clench and make a fist. Spread the fingers wide and alternate. Whichever you prefer. Still focus on hugging that arm into the body nice and close. Feeling the stretch kind of on the back side of that shoulder. Good, now release it, but take that same arm, reach up towards your shoulder, or like you're going to scratch yourself on the back or pat yourself. Support the elbow with your opposite hand and push back. If you're flexible enough, you can also reach over top and pull back. We're stretching our tricep here as well as our lat. As you can tell, this is something I need to work on too. Still drawing that belly button in, lengthening through the crown of the spine, crown of the head. And let's release, switching sides. So, right arm crosses the body, support that elbow, and pull it in nice and close. When you're ready here, give me wrist rotations, some figure eights. You can make a fist and spread the fingers, whichever you prefer. Just get some good range of motion at that wrist. Now, when you're ready, we're going to release. Take that same right hand, reach up towards the shoulder, and either push or pull that elbow back. Be mindful here not to crank the neck. You don't want to drop that chin or force it down. You're not trying to strain the neck. Should feel a good stretch in the back side of the arm as well as maybe down the side body. And let's release. Come back to center if you need to, shake it out. Spread the feet just a little wider. I want to bring it a little bit lower in the body now and start with some standing cat-cow. So most of the motion should come from the spine. And let's start by taking a big breath in and raising that heart to the ceiling. Exhale, round the back a little bit, drop the arms, pull that belly button to spine. Big breath in, reach back, shoulder blades together. Exhale, round it over. Exhale hard and pull that belly button in. Big breath in. And exhale, keep it up. Give me a few more at your own pace. One more, full range of motion. And come back to center. Now what I want you to do is, with that left foot, step forward, and right foot, big step back, but let those toes point out just a little bit. Toes pointed out. Hands on your hips. I want you to make sure your hips are squared up with the front of the body. Don't let them shift out. So as you're centered and you're nice and your hips are squared, I want you to focus on tucking that tailbone underneath and pull that core in. So just like a pail or a bucket, you can tilt that pelvis. I want you to squeeze your glutes, tuck that tailbone underneath, and pull that core in. If you're doing this one right, you feel a little bit of a stretch right down here in the front of the quads maybe, or a little higher towards the hip flexors. Nice and tall, squeezing those glutes. Now to take it a step further, once you've found your balance here, let's take that hand, send it up and over. Right hand reaches up and over to the left. Still squeezing those glutes underneath you. Keep those hips squared forward. And release it on. Bring the hand back to your hip. Now, we're going to shift just a little bit so that the back toes are pointing straight forward. And I want you to drive that heel down towards the floor. Again, trying to keep that back foot. Make sure if you need to, check it. That is pointing straight forward. Should feel this stretch more so in the calf. That back leg is nice and straight. Hold it here. And now I want you to gently bend or unlock that back leg. Still push that heel into the ground. It's a subtle movement, but you might feel that stretch migrate or change just a little bit. If you need to allow a little bit more bend in the front leg, as long as that back heel doesn't come up off the ground. Nice work. Now step forward and switch. Right foot's forward, left foot, big step back. Turn that toe out just slightly. Re-square your hips up forward. When you're ready, tuck that tailbone underneath. We're squeezing that left glute, pulling your core in. Focusing on trying to stretch those hip flexors and upper quad area. Now when you're ready, you're feeling balanced, you're grounded. Let's take that hand, reach up and over. Left hand is up and over to the right. Good stretch down that side body. One more breath here. And let's release, come back to center. Now shift just a little bit so your back foot, that toe points straight forward. And when you're ready, drive that heel down towards the ground. Now for me, this side's a little on the tighter side. So just get the range of motion you can, keeping that back leg straight. Don't let your heel come up off the ground. Even if you need to shift back a little bit, or if you have better range of motion, shift forward to deepen that stretch. Now when you're ready, I want you to just unlock that back knee. It's a very subtle movement. Just let it bend slightly, but keep your heel on the ground. Doing good. And let's release now. Take a small step forward. I want you to still keep that left foot out in front. Right foot out in front. And all your weight on your back foot. Now reaching up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Let's exhale and scoot towards the floor. Now that front foot, your toe should be pulled up towards you. A little bit of a dynamic hamstring stretch here. Exhale as we reach for the floor and send that tailbone back. Big breath in as we reach for the ceiling. Give me 2 more. Last one. Nice. Let's switch sides. So plant that heel. Give me a little heel dig and pull that toe up. All your weight's on that back leg. Big breath in as we reach to the ceiling. Exhale, send those hips back. Draw some big circles, some big arm circles. But as we reach for the floor, you should feel that back side of the thigh stretching. Last 2. Big breath in on the way up. Last one. Exhale and scoop. Nice work. Step forward if you need to. Shake those legs out. Now we're going to come into a big, wide, staggered stance. Toes can be slightly out. What I want you to do when you're ready is take those hands, interlace them or clasp them behind your hips. If you can try to get your palms all the way together, or if you want to leave the palms apart, that's your choice. But when you're ready, get a little bit of a soft bend in the knees. And we're going to forward fold by pushing that tailbone back. Get as far as you can without letting your back arch around too much. Try to lift those hands a little higher towards the ceiling. Feel those pecs and the shoulders opening up. And when you're ready, let's release the hands, let them come down towards the floor. Hold it here for a little bit if you'd like. You can clasp elbow to elbow. And let that head droop down in the middle. Let's get a little sway from side to side. Might be a little stretch in that lower back as well. And when you're ready, release those hands. I want you to walk them over to our left. And try to hold on to either the outside of your leg, even if it's just the knee, the outside of your shin. If you can get all the way to the ankle, that's great. We're just going to hold it here. Again, using any support if you do need to. You can have a hand higher up on the leg. Just get the range of motion that you can and what's comfortable. Maybe you want to try to reach a little further down the leg with every breath out. That's your choice. And let's slowly walk our hands back to the center, over to the other side, right leg. And again, holding on to whatever we can, whatever's comfortable. Reaching down that leg. You can be up by your knee, down your shin, or if you can get all the way to your ankle or your outer foot, that's great. Holding it here. Again, try not to let that back round too much. We're pushing those hips back. Again, if you would like, you can always reach a little further with every breath out. And let's slowly walk those hands back to center. Hold it here just for a moment because I want you to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rise up back to a wide stance. Standing position. Crown of the head is last. Once you're here, let's get those hands maybe on your hips, a little bit towards the small of your back. Give me a brief back extension, letting those hips shift forward. You can look up to the ceiling if you'd like, and bring those hips back underneath you. We'll step feet together now. Now, if you'd like, you can hold on to a chair or anything nearby for some support. We're going to start with that left leg for a quad stretch. Reaching up and either grabbing onto, maybe if we're wearing shoes, the back of your shoe. You can grab onto your ankle, your shin, whatever it is you can get. Just make sure that the knees are right next to each other. Now, as long as you're feeling balanced and you want to deepen the stretch, focus on pulling that core in and squeezing your glutes together. You should feel that stretch deepen a little bit more. You might feel this a little higher towards the hip crease, or maybe down closer to your knee. That's all okay. Now let's release, but take that same ankle, cross it over your opposite knee, and sit back into a figure four. I highly encourage holding on to something during this one, just so you can focus on that stretch. While you're here, you can really hinge forward. You can gently put some pressure on that knee to open up the hip a little more. Or if you'd like, you can also give me some ankle rotations. You can point and flex the toe. Whatever's feeling good. We're going to hold this for a little bit. Feeling that hip open up. And let's step down, rise, and we're going to switch. So starting with that right quad now. Reaching up and back. Bringing the heel up towards the glute. Knees are next to each other. When you're ready and you're grounded and you're stable, pull that core in, squeeze those glutes together underneath you. I can tell a difference every time I do. Nice and tall, still keep the crown of the head up. Feels like this quad's a little tighter for me. And let's release, take that ankle, cross it over the opposite knee, and when you're ready, sit back into that figure four. Same here applies. You can either gently push down on the thigh without knocking yourself off balance. You can hinge forward and really focus on that, or you can give me some ankle rotations. You can point and flex the toe. Sink a little bit deeper as your hips tend to open up a little more. Ooh, this one feels good. Hope you're feeling good at home after this one. Let's stand, release, facing forward, feet all the way together, maybe slightly apart, wherever's feeling good. Let's end today with 3 big breaths. So, in through the nose as we reach up to the ceiling. Exhale out through the mouth and push those fingertips away. Big breath in, reach exhale out to the mouth. Last one, big breath in and exhale. So thank you for joining. Again, this is Chris and Noel and our standing stretch video. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.